What a do, tube. All right, it's been a minute. It's been a long minute since I've made an update. So, still in pieces. Still got it up on the cart. Motor still in pieces. But the one thing I haven't showed you since I got it back, and that's my fault, mostly because it's been laying up against the wall in my garage, the chassis. So my last update was probably about 6 months ago. I did all this chassis work, went and got it powder coated, and it turned out amazing. I could not be happier with how this thing turned out. It's really dirty right now, so I apologize. It's been sitting in my garage for 6-7 months now. But man, this thing turned out so nice. Even the guys at the powder coat place were like, that looks a lot better than it did when it came in. And I said, I agree. So even they were happy with how it turned out. So I'm pretty ecstatic about this, getting it back together. Like I said, it looks so good now. I can't wait to get this thing underneath the chassis, underneath the car. Just kind of show you what it looks like. I wish it wasn't just leaning up against the wall in the garage, but that's what we got right now. Gives me enough room to get around still and get work done on the body. So if you're not familiar, go back and watch the video I made of doing all this chassis work. We did end up, obviously, if anybody remembers from the beginning of all this, I fixed this body mount the first time this thing was off. There was just a couple welds in here that we redid because they had some holes in the metal. So we kind of went over some of the welds. Looks great. Before we were done that night, I believe it was this horn. Maybe it was that horn. It was this horn. I believe on the underside of it, we found a really weak spot, and it ended up like being this freaking big. So we cut that whole section out, made a patch piece, patched the whole thing in, welded it really good, ground it down, can't even tell it was there. And then we also ended up fixing this body mount right here. You can tell because it's a little fucky, but it'll do what it's supposed to do. So did all that. Once again, this thing was chopped all the way to this seam. Usually when guys cut these, they probably keep another 1/8 inch, almost a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch left on here. I went further than that because I didn't see the point of not. So we put a 1/4 inch thick plate in here, and plus all this strengthening material, some gussets. We got this cross tube right here, which I like it better here. It might have made more sense to move it out here to get a little more bracing in here, but I figure, let me grab this, I forgot to grab it. I think I had somebody mention something about that in one of my previous videos of, oh, why didn't you put a cross brace in the middle of the chassis, blah, blah, blah. Well, I have a Jegs cross member, which is all box steel. That bolts to there. That's going to add rigidity. And then I also purchased these little guys. So I got these brace connectors for the upper and lower control arms. I don't know if you can see that. I think I had those in a video. And then I also contemplated on, once this thing's back in the car, and I'll have a better idea of where the floor is and everything, about making another one that is removable, that just bolts in between here and there. So it'll have this same hump, but it'll just be a tube that goes from here, from end to end, side to side, and bolts in somewhere in the middle. I didn't ever measure for that bar when the body was on, so I just thought it'd be a better idea to do that. So the reason the chassis is still sitting up like that is because I've been doing something else that I don't know if I ever talked about doing. I just didn't really see a point in doing all that chassis modification if I'm not going to do this. So we're also working on the wheel tubs. So far, and this is not finished. This thing is still in here nice and loose. See, the fucker's about to fall out. Oh boy. But it's not finished. Not even close. Yeah, it's getting closer, but so yeah. Working on the wheel tubs now. I have gained about 1.5 inches of space. I have not been making videos of this, mostly because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing with this. I'm just kind of winging it, which is what I've been doing this whole car. So hopefully it's not a giant pile of shit. Just kind of been working at it as I go, thinking about how things need to work and how things need to go back together. What size tire I'd like to make room for. The only downfall with this is now the rear end is finished, so I'm gonna have to find a wheel with enough back space to accommodate my wheel tub. I can't do anything else with the rear end, which, if you remember a while back, I thought about taking the rear end in like another 1/2 to 1 inch more, but I never did because I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So here we go. So now I have almost 13 inches of wheel space in here, which is wow. I'm planning to run maybe a 295 tire. If I can get bigger, I will, but a 295 wide is pretty freaking huge. So yeah, that's just kind of what I've been working on. I want to get these wheel tubs finished before I start working on the frame, because I don't want to be doing two things back and forth, because that chassis should go together pretty quick. It may or may not. I'm hoping it does. Everything's just going right back on it. Obviously, I'm gonna have to clean up holes. I might have to grind some powder coat off in places, you know, but everything just has to get back assembled. The only problem I'm thinking that I'm gonna have is my fuel line, because I am not going to be able to run my fuel line back through the frame like I did. So I'm a little worried about that. I'm gonna try to run it through, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. But anyway, so that's what we got going on. I'm trying to get these wheel tubs finished so that I can pull the frame out, get it set on stands over here in my giant empty spot of a garage, and get some work done. Not much to update lately. That's why I haven't really been giving you updates. Not even much to update here. I'm hopefully, once I get these tubs done, I'll make a good video of, you know, what those, explaining what I did, how I did it, what it looks like, how it turned out. But I got quite a long road to go with that. And then this frame, obviously I'll make a videos putting that back together. I got a lot of good shit going back together on this frame. All tubular everything, all Spone front control arms. I got Viking coilovers now. Man, the list goes on. I'm so excited to get this car back together. I just can't wait. I got a few other upgrades I'm thinking about. Speaking of which, if anybody knows if you can get a Willwood front brake upgrade for our Blazer spindles. So I did that Blazer spindle swap. Does anybody know if you can do a Willwood brake swap to those? I cannot find anything. I don't really want to go Brembo. I mean, maybe the Z06 brakes are going to be lighter than these cast iron fucking Blazer calipers and stuff. I just want to get a little weight off the front with those brakes. Those brakes are heavy. I'd like to go Willwood, but maybe I'll lose some weight with the Camaro spindles, because I think they're aluminum and whatever. Just let me know. Hit me up in the comments if you guys know anything about a Willwood brake upgrade for these Blazer spindles. I'm not sure. The other front, we have updates coming on. Part of it's sitting in this box. So we got a brand new Holley carburetor. We got Chloe's timing chain cover. We got timing chains. We got a timing chain. We got a brand new Black Series MSD box. We got a brand new Black Series MSD Billet Pro billet. And what is this? Oh man, what does that say? AFR? Shoo, boy. We got some upgrades coming. We got a lot of news coming on that motor front. I got big decisions to make, and I can't. It's hard to make them because it's hard to make them. So, all right, guys. I just want you to know that I haven't died. I'm still around. I'm still doing G-body shit. Just, I got a lot of important stuff going on right now with work and trying to get some things done there. So, a lot of work going on too. So, anyway, all right, guys. That's all my update is. I just wanted to let you all know I'm still here. I'm still kicking. Still doing G-body shit in the G-body garage. So, we're getting her done. All right, y'all. Later.